तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
Good evening, Nada.
Good evening. Good evening. Yes, yes. I will something here with when I want to share the screen. I don't know why I couldn't put this.
Yes.
It is
It's
here.
5 o'clock, right, Nada? Our event going to be start?
Yes, 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 Pratibha, it will be.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
People are still joining.
Good evening,
sir.
but
Very good evening.
people are
speaking from Bangladesh, Professor Dr. Aravind Shah. Good evening to all.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes.
Pratibha, what you see now on the desktop? Pratibha.
We can see the videos, Nada. We can
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Okay. Should we wait or we will start?
We'll wait for 2 because only 14 people, all the speakers even
okay.
didn't join, no? So let the
Okay.
speakers join and then by 5:15 we can start, I feel.
Okay, okay.
Otherwise it will be too late, na? So 5:15 will start, I think.
Yes, it will. We will be late also because
Yeah, right.
Yes, because the shuttle is going over 8 p.m.
Fair enough.
Nada, can you share the link once again with all the speakers? I think they must be finding the same difficulty which you were.
Yes, I couldn't join. Yes, I will.
Share the same link once again. Or the message which
Okay. I think it's problem with the link, yes, because they can't get in. Okay. Huh, Milan Paruka. Grazie. Okay. I share it again.
Good evening, ma'am.
Dr. Vaishali said something about camera. I don't know. I send the link again.
You have all the speakers. I think you should start now, Nada.
We will start. So if there's somebody is not here, we will go with others.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can go
Okay.
with the flow. Yes. All the best.
Yes.
Take care.
Other one.
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय ग्रन्थगीताय ग्रन्थगेयाय ग्रन्थान्तरात्मने गीतलीनाय गीताश्रयाय गीतवाद्यपदवे गेयचरिताय गायकवराय गन्धर्वविभूते गायरागीनविग्रहाय गङ्गाजलनिलये गौरीतनन्दनाय गौरीगणयाय गौरीरवणाय गौरभावाय धीमहि गोसहस्राय गोवर्धनाय गोपगोपाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
Good evening, respected dignitaries, colleagues, and my dear students. I want to express my gratitude to have been given the opportunity to express my thoughts in this historic ISDGS conference. I mean, the first International Sustainable Development Goal Conference. And firstly, I want to welcome our guest of honors, our co-founders of IIU, trustee of IIU, our highly experienced speakers, our highly energetic moderators, and finally, our lovely audience and all the participants. Let's talk about SDG. I want to throw some light on them and how IIU, International Internship University, will make a difference in this world. Yes, really, in this world. What are SDGs? The Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, also known as Global Goals. I think that everybody here today know what are global goals. So the global goals are adopted by United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, to protect our planet, and ensure that by 2030 years, all people will enjoy peace and prosperity. The 17 SDG goals, yes, we call our conference by 17 SDGs goals, are all integrated here in this. They are recognized. The action in one area will affect outcomes in others. And that development must balance what? Must balance social, economic, and environment sustainability. Sustainable development is develop that the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Thus, IIU, International Internship University, invited all the interested stakeholders, innovative SDG leaders who are today here with us, the schools, colleges, universities, organizations, government and non-government organizations for goal-wise deliverables. Today, we are all here and witnessing the plethora of ideas and knowledge delivered on 5 languages. We have more than 500 speakers, and we will make some goals more than 1 day because we want all of you who registered to be our guest keynote speaker. By the end here, I'm very sure that we all will have many new competencies after this. Yes, we are all here also to learn because our learning is a lifelong process. One such conference, and indeed a boom to our society, is given to many other collaborative efforts of the co-founders of IIU and Mr. Piyush Pandit. Yes, Mr. Piyush Pandit is our co-founder. So now I would first make a introduce with IIU. So we will watch one video with IIU.
When you think about university, you think of a building, books in the library, classrooms, students roaming around, teachers, and a huge fees to get admission. Imagine a university which is not fixed at one place, where students can study at their own ease, at their desired locations, where the curriculum is updated with the technological changes, and focus on the true things which matter in life. The university which focuses on developing mindset. The university which develops skills. We are talking about the contemporary education mechanism, the virtual university. International Internship University believes in inspiring, inventing, igniting young minds, cultivating excellence in every student,
see the video.
accessible education,
What?
at their own
You
ease.
can't see the video. If you can share the screen, please.
Virtual
Now, Pratibha. Why doesn't work?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
When you think about university, you think of a building, books in the library, classrooms, students roaming around, teachers, and a huge fees to get admission. Imagine a university which is not fixed at one place, where students can study at their own ease, at their desired locations, where the curriculum is updated with the technological changes, and focus on the true things which matter in life. The university which focuses on developing mindset. The university which develops skills. We are talking about the contemporary education mechanism, the virtual university. International Internship University believes in inspiring, inventing, igniting young minds, cultivating excellence in every student by enabling accessible education at their own ease through virtual internships. Virtual internships act as a gateway to a world of knowledge application that was previously held behind closed doors for the fresh graduates. The ability to meet, speak, work, and collaborate with industry professionals from a diverse range of fields, such as engineering, business management, humanitarian fields, and much more, delivers insights that the students can foster for a lifetime. It bridges the ever-so-glaring gap between the demands of the corporate world and the pride of academia. We invite applications for PhD, Doctorate in Literature, Doctorate in Science, LLD honors degree from experienced personnel in various disciplines who have rich experience in their respective fields. The program is offered only to a select group of accomplished individuals. As a professional, a degree or additional degree will allow you to make a greater impact. The expedient way of showing the world your knowledge, abilities, experience, and talents is with your degree and use of your titles.
Yes, now we introduced International Internship University, but we can't talk about this university if we don't talk about our co-founders and our co-founders, Mr. Piyush Pandit. I will want to show now a video about Mr. Piyush Pandit. There are really no words to describe this person. So, who knows him know everything about that, but who didn't know him will make a conclusion from the video I will show now. I have here a problem with the videos because they are not outside. This is the problem. Now, do you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Okay. I will here.
Piyush Pandit was born on 27th July 1987 in Pratapgarh, Uttar Pradesh, in a middle-class family. Piyush Pandit is that name, who's recognized by his multiple work genres: an international social activist, award-winning social worker, serial entrepreneur, and founder of SBB Global. He has determined his destiny by having trust in him and Almighty God. Piyush Pandit is a diligent and passionate social worker committed to serve the humanity. Piyush Pandit has played a crucial role in crafting a team of volunteers and achieved global recognition as head of Swarna Bharat Parivar Trust, which span across more than 50 countries. He granted several live interviews and press conferences on rural development, access to justice, and the right to equality. Piyush is youth leader with extensive social work experience, political activism, and stellar entrepreneurial achievements. When you think of social work and changing the world by improving human experiences, Piyush Pandit comes to mind. He is proactively mentoring other social activists to encourage social activism and entrepreneurship around the world. He is working fiercely towards achieving United Nations Sustainable Goals in India and over the globe. Under the flawless leadership of Piyush Pandit, Swarna Bharat Parivar Trust was established.
Okay. So I hope so that you can make a conclusion. We all have that one teacher in our life with whom it feels that all will be well. Whatever he or she says to engrave our stones for us, and acknowledging that one teacher makes a difference in our life. That one teacher or one figure is the figure which leads to our new future of the country and leads the new generation of leaders. We will soon be starting teacher accreditation courses. I am talking about International University, Internship University, and I'm talking in the name of Mr. Piyush Pandit, and these are his words, his great words, because he's working every day on many new jobs and many things, and he is a person who can lead all of that. He's a great leader, and soon is starting a teacher accreditation courses from IIU. Every day is starting something new. If you are following IIU on the social medias, you will see in one day many new posts and many new things that IIU are doing. Also, you have an opportunity to become a global recognized teacher. What it means? It means that great teachers can present today and represent their country on the international level. Global teachers will get 1 year training from IIU. The global teacher recognition not only leads to personality development, but training of the teachers for international level skills development and sound knowledge of technology used around the globe, but will also have the viable earnings through all these developments. I just want to add to this that a great teacher, and we all who are teachers, always make a great nation. Today here with all of you is me, Nada Ratkovic from Croatia. Greetings from Croatia. I'm a country director for Croatia. I'm another administrative core team of IAU, and also I'm presenting the big SDG team who was working very hardly on this conference. Also, before few days, we have a big project called Satva, and many of you were there watching it and see the results, many competitions, and also a new conference is going from few days, and you can also apply like a speaker or moderator, and you will see what is their offering. Today with me is one special lady. She is moderating with me this first day of this big global conference. I want to call my moderator to present herself. She is an amazing woman. She has a big, great organization, sustainable foundation organization. She is from India, and now she will present herself. Alkisha, please present yourself.
Hello, Nada. Can you hear me, dear?
Yes, yes. Could you speak a little louder?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute.
Okay.
Just increase the volume. I think it's fine now. So, hello, everybody. My name is Achla Bhupendra. It's a pleasure to be here. And my friend Nada, she invited me to help her in moderating. And she herself is a wonderful person. No need to say anything. I truly admire her. I truly respect PUSG and whole organization who is present here. So, further going ahead, as requested by Ms. Nada to introduce me myself, I just tell a little bit about myself, because already this platform is filled with so many dignitaries and speakers across the world. So myself is a listener and learner here today, not as a speaker. So just to tell a little bit about myself, my name is Achla. I'm sustainability environment consultant by profession and a social worker by passion. I am chairperson of Sustainable Future Foundation, work to promote sustainable initiative. I request everybody to please mute themselves. Okay, thank you so much. So my Sustainable Future Foundation work to promote sustainability initiative, global compliance reporting standards as professional activities, and some non-commercial activities as well. Apart from this, I am also consultant director at Dubai-based company AP Tech Serve UAE. I am also USGBC Green Classroom certified. This was my professional profile. Regarding my social, I am a vice president of Bharati Bhasha Savada Sansthan that work to promote language among families living in abroad and other diaspora. Apart from that, recently I've been appointed as a Director of International Relations Middle East at MSME Startup Forum, Bharat, to work and promote MSME, as MSME is the main ground root of India and other countries as well. Further, I'm also a National Vice President of Wiki NRI Council, Women's India Chamber of Commerce Industry, where I work to promote women empowerment and other issues. I don't want to take much time ahead because already most of the speakers must be waiting, and I'm eagerly waiting to listen to them. Dear Nada, please take the platform.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today. It was really our pleasure. Yes, we always have big people here at IAU who will every day present something new. Now, it's the time for our speakers. Now the motive, we all are gathered here for our keynote speakers. I would like to give the stage to them, to the first speaker. And now, who will enlighten us with his inspiring words. Today, every speaker will talk only 5 minutes. It is the limit. Why? Because we said that at the beginning, at the registration, all about that. So it's time to start with our first speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. Frolian Mobile from Philippines. Dr. Frolian Mobile from Philippines is an international diplomat. Dr. Frolian Mobile, are you here?
Are you on mute?
Ambassador Dr. Frolian Mobile, you can start your presentation. You have a pleasure to be today our first great speaker. Yeah, he's unmuted, but I don't know why his mic don't work. We don't hear you, Ambassador Dr. Frolian. No, 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 we don't hear him. We will go ahead. Maybe Mr. Doctor will make it. He can try again. I will go to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Ayse Aydogan Gezer from Turkey. Mr. or Mrs. Ayse Aydogan Gezer, Turkey, the stage is yours. Aisha, please check, is our next speaker here?
Nada, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm the third speaker if you want.
Shelly, yes, hello, our dear Shelly.
Yeah,
our
fine.
dear Shelly Bisht from India. I must tell few words about Miss Shelly Bisht. She is a passionate educator with 21 years experience in teaching industry. She is an international speaker, moderator on many international conferences, in talk shows, core member, multi-awarder, deputy county director, and many things. I could talk today 2 hours about our Shelly Bisht. Dear Shelly Bisht, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Nada, for a wonderful and a lovely introduction. All gratitude to you. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, so here I start. Is this a holy thing to see? In a rich and fruitful land, babies reduced to misery, fed with cold and a serious hand, is that trembling, cry a song? Can it be a song of joy? And so many children poor. It's a land of poverty, with fingers weary and worn, with eyelids heavy and red. A woman set in unwomanly rags, plying her needle and thread, stitch, 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 in poverty, hunger, and dirt, and still with a voice of dolorous pitch, she sang the song of the shirt. Good evening, all dignitaries, speakers, lovely moderators, and participants. It's an honor for me, Shelly Bisht, Deputy Country Director, India IAU, to address at the opening ceremony of first ISDGC 2021 conference, Sustainable Development Goal 1 of the 17th SDGCs established by United Nations in 2015 calls for no poverty. The official wording is to end poverty in all its forms, wherever. Member countries have pledged to leave no one behind. Underlying the goal is a powerful commitment to leave no one behind and to reach those farthest behind first. SDG 1 aims to eradicate every form of extreme poverty, including the lack of food, clean drinking water, and sanitation. Achieving this goal includes finding solutions to new threats caused by climate change and conflict. It focuses not only on people living in poverty, but also on the services people rely on and the social policy that either promotes or prevents poverty. The goal has 7 targets and 13 indicators to measure progress. Despite the ongoing progress, 10% of the world's population live in poverty and struggle to meet basic needs such as health, education, and access to water and sanitation. Extreme poverty remains prevalent in low-income countries, particularly those affected by conflict and political upheaval. One of the key indicators that measure poverty is the proportion of population living below an international and national poverty line. Measuring the proportion of the population covered by social protection systems and living in households with access to basic services is also an indication of the level of poverty. Now, eradicating poverty has been made more difficult by COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Let me discuss the UN-defined 7 targets and 14 indicators for SDG 1. Target 1, eradicate extreme poverty. Target 1.1 includes 1 indicator, that is, proportion of population living below the international poverty line aggregated by sex, age, employment status, and geographical location. Target 1.2 says, reduce poverty by at least 50%. Indicators tells us proportion of population living below the national poverty line, proportion of men, women, and children of all ages living in poverty in all its dimensions according to national definitions. Target 3 implements nationally appropriate social protection system. It is a proportion of population covered by social protection systems, distinguished children, unemployed persons, older persons, persons with disabilities, pregnant women, newborns, work injury victims, and the poor and the vulnerable. Target 4, equal rights to ownership, basic services, technology, and economic resources. Its 2 indicators are proportion of population living in households with access to basic services and proportion of total adult population with secure tenure rights to land with legally recognized documentation who perceive their rights to land as secure and type of tenure. Target 5, build resilience to environmental, economic, and social disasters. It has 4 indicators basically. Number of deaths, missing persons and directly affected persons attributed to disasters, direct economic loss attributed to disasters in relation to global gross domestic product, number of countries that adopt and implement national disaster risk reduction strategies in line for disaster risk reduction, proportion of local governments that adopt and implement local disaster risk reduction strategies in line with national disaster. Then, mobilization of resources to end poverty. It has 3 indicators basically. Proportion of total government spending on essential services, sum of total grants and non-debt creating inflows directly allocated to poverty reduction programs as a proportion of GDP. Establishment of poverty eradication policy frameworks at all levels. Create sound policy frameworks at the national, regional, and international levels based on pro-poor and gender sensitive, that is pro-poor public social spending. Now, what are the challenges? Impact of COVID-19 pandemic. It has caused a first increase in the global poverty, up by 7% in just few minutes, ending a 20-year streak of progress. COVID-19 has further increased the challenges of achieving zero poverty goals as well as other SDG goals by 2030. So I would like to tell all attendees over here, do not look the other way, do not hesitate. Recognize that the world is hungry for action, not words. Act with courage and vision. Massive poverty and obscene inequality are such terrible scourges of our times in which the world boasts breathtaking advances in science, technology, industry, and wealth accumulation, that they have to rank alongside slavery and apartheid and social evils. As long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality exist in the world, none of us can truly rest. In this new century, millions of people in the world's poorest countries remain imprisoned, enslaved, and in chains. They are trapped in the prison of poverty. It's time to set them free. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural, it is man-made, and it can be overcome by eradicated by the action of human beings. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is the protection of a fundamental human right, the right to dignity and a decent life. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Poverty. Poverty is a curse for human society. Poverty prevails there where the injustice is. Poverty exclaims there where the illiteracy is. Poverty is purely man-made, so it has to be eradicated from its roots. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Shelly, sign off. Thank you so much for the patient listening.
Thank you. Thank you there, Shelly Biss. I know that you could talk to tomorrow, but we must go on. Now, our dear Ambassador, Dr. Frolian Mobo, would speak because he was the first. The stage is your dear Ambassador.
So, good evening. Am I audible, ma'am? Do you hear my voice? Hello?
Yes, please speak up. You're audible.
So, good evening. So, by the way, so it's an honor for me to be invited to this momentous event. So, by the way, I'm Ambassador for Dr. Frolian Mobo. I'm also the Deputy Country Director for IIU Philippines. At the same time, the Ambassador at Large for the International Human Rights Movement. So, my task is to deliver my speech about the end poverty in all its forms everywhere. So that is SDG 1. So from the very start, since 1990, the number of people in the whole world who are extremely poor has halved. So in 2015, however, there were still about 737 million people living under $1.90 a day. That is from the record of World Bank. So about 3/4 of the extreme poor live in rural areas, with most dependent on agriculture for their livelihoods and food security. So inclusive agriculture, food production, and off-farm economies can create jobs to eliminate hunger in rural areas, giving people a chance to feed their families and live a decent life. So it needs to develop an evidence-based policies, strategies, and programs to achieve Sustainability Development Goal number 1. By promoting inclusive structural transformation, access to land and resources, income diversification, decent jobs, and gender equality. So the organization or other factors can work to strengthen rural institutions and access to social protection for the rural poor family. So in today's pandemic, this induced humanitarian and economic crisis, which represent an unprecedented opportunity to go beyond emergency responses and address our economy's structural flaws so that government can do stimulus and recovery packages that can already shaping the future. But leaders across all sectors of society must also be recognized that this moment has a rare chance to build a more inclusive and sustainability world. So which will be possible if we end poverty in all its forms. So the risk now is that these gains could be reversed. So the COVID-19 or the pandemic crisis requires the commitment of global and national leaders not only to preserve hard-won progress, but also to turn a corner in the global effort to end poverty. This will not be easy given that the pandemic is exaggerating pre-existing inequalities. So the importance of this in leveraging the knowledge and buy-in of stakeholders closest to the crisis. So in addition, there should be a support coming from other sectors or from bodies that must do to strengthen the capacity of all state institutions during this post-conflict reconstruction with the Peace Building Commission, which plays a vital role. And the next should be the committee should not let the pandemic be a major driver of insecurity, but do not get a prompt access to all resources, but also it will turn into political insecurity challenges. So that would be all, and thank you and good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Dr. Frolian, mobile from Philippines. We're moving to the next. I will repeat AC Erdogan Gezer from Turkey. Please, the stage is yours. But if Aishi is not here, we are going to the next. Dr. Eman Alam from Egypt. Is Dr. Yes?
Hello? Are you hearing me? My voice is clear?
Yes.
Thank
Okay, yes.
Share my screen?
Dr. Iman, welcome.
You are most welcome. Thank you very much. Can I share my screen?
You want to show us your presentation?
Yes. Already I sent it to the WhatsApp group, but I wanted to show it, please. I'll stick to the time.
Could you share it?
No, it is not allowed.
Okay.
Thanks, dear.
Dr. Iman. Let's start with that. Could you now?
I think maybe, oh, yes. No.
You can't.
Disabled.
Okay, I gave you. Try now.
Now I can.
I gave you the option that you can share your screen.
Thank you, my dear sister.
Okay.
Okay.
You can start, please.
Okay. First of all, I need to thank IIU because of great efforts in doing such great conferences and for doing equal opportunities to different countries and different places. I need to highlight one point in my speech. I need to talk about poverty and science and technology and innovation and Africa. In Africa. Problems of underdeveloped, particular the problems of lowest income countries in the world extend from beyond. Sorry, but some people need admission. Please, can you admit them? Extend far beyond the issues of economic strategies. Who's found that in many parts of the world?
Please, can you talk a little louder?
Sorry?
Could you talk a little louder? We don't hear you.
Okay, if you want me to delay the introduction, I hope to go to the conclusion. I think maybe time is not enough. We need to encourage focusing on basic and applied sciences, making the science outside of laboratories. It must be transferred to a product. Innovation, creative works in the area of drugs, improving education quality. Education by love must be done. Improving life quality, training programs, scientific networking, and reduction of exporting raw materials. Manufacturing is highly required instead. Awareness about intellectual property rights will encourage innovation in science. All colors of biotechnology for a better life is needed. Phytochemistry to get your products, insecticides and repellents from our or your own plants and to be manufactured. Equal opportunities to Black African with other scientists in foreign countries. Color of skin is not the color of mind because we have many African innovative minds. Science and technology transfer between countries is highly required. Investment in science and technology and innovation, R&D organizations, peace and appreciation of others and acceptance of opinion differences, no discrimination for any reason, human rights must be fixed to a higher levels, positive and effective minds must be encouraged, fighting corruption, diseases, crimes, not fighting others with a different view, human and social responsibility, and finally, youth and youth and youth. Thank you very much. I concluded before.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Eman from Egypt. We didn't present her. Botany lecturer, microbiology department, faculty of science, Al Azhar University. Thank you very much. We are moving to our next speaker, Kizerbo Tidiane from Burkina Faso. Kizerbo Tidiane from Burkina Faso. Are you here? Kizerbo Tidiano. We are going to the next speaker. The next speaker is Archibald Ambassador Professor Michel Olesugin Ogendanabe from Nigeria. I'm so sorry if I don't read it correct. Professor Michel from Nigeria, are you here? No. Our next speaker, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you very well.
I don't.
I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
What?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Hello. There is, I think, little network issue is there, His Highness Archbishop. Can you hear us properly?
Archbishop. I see him here. He's here, but
I can hear you very well.
we have microphonia. Do you have maybe two things open? Please, if you have mobile or something else, shut it. We don't hear you good.
Okay. Now. Can you hear me?
We don't hear you. I think that it's bad. In Nigeria is always bad network and network issues. Archbishop, would we try a little later again? Can we try again a little later?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, we will go back to you again. Now, we are calling Professor Jared Akama Oniari from Kenya. Is Professor Jared Akama Oniari from Kenya here with us? Achla, could you check? Is he here, please?
Yes, I'll do that. I can't see in the list.
Okay. Okay, we are moving to the next, so we will get back before the end. I am calling now Miss Sunita Singhvi from India. Miss Sunita Singhvi, the stage is yours.
Hello, Miss Sunita, are you here? I don't think Nada she is here. Let's go to the next speaker. I think because those who are available here, they must be waiting for us. So
Okay. Okay. Our next speaker is respected Mr. Air Surya Kanta from India. Is Mr. Suryakanta from Odisha, India here with us? Mr. Suryakanta is a chairman and Indian human rights defender. He is not with us.
no. Let's call Miss Sapna. Miss Sapna, are you here? Sapna Rakesh. No, I'm going to the next speaker. If you're here, please raise your voice. The next one is Maya Rana from Nepal. Are you here? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
hi,
yes,
can
Minmaya.
you hear
Minmaya is here. Yes.
Please, ma'am.
Yeah, hi, welcome Maya on our platform. Can you hear me, Maya, properly?
Yes, ma'am. Please,
Okay.
may I permission to share a screen?
Yeah, please, you can share the screen now. You have the option over there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, okay. First of all, a special thanks all entire IIU team. It's me, Minmaya Rana from Nepal. Today, my topic is. Oh, sorry, what happened?
Minmaya, please, can you talk a little louder? We don't hear you very good.
Okay, ma'am. Yes. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, we can hear you. Can please go ahead and can you please put this in screen presentation mode? I think otherwise it's visible also. No problem. You can go ahead.
Oh,
Please.
okay. Thank you.
So before Professor Minmaya starts, I would like to present her. Minmaya Rana is from Nepal and she is a teacher at Shaniti Shniksha Mandir Secondary School. And she is also a big social worker. Minmaya, please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Today's my topic is no poverty. First of all, I would like to say the many of the challenges facing humankind, such as climate change, water, and inequality, which can mainly reduce the global level and promoting sustainable development, accompanying the social progress, environmental balance, and economic growth. As a part of a new sustainable development roadmap, the United Nations approved the 2030 Agenda, which contains the Sustainable Development Goals, a call to action to protect the planet and guarantee to global well-being of people. Those common goals require there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are the first priority is the no poverty in the world. Then, first of all, we can say what is poverty. When a person is unable to fulfill their basic needs such as food, clothes, shelter, health, and education, that is called, we can say, poverty. Poverty also classified any two types, which are the absolute poverty and relative poverty. It is the complex lack of the main necessary meet basic the personal needs such as food, clothing, and shelter, and relative poverty. And also the Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the goals, are the call for the United Nations that are a huge global survey among the 26,000 people from and 24 countries show the 87% of the people believe that extreme the poverty has either stayed the same or got worse over the past 20 years. And 1 billion people have rise out the extreme poverty since 1990. This means we are already halfway to the eradicating global poverty. Still, 840 million people to go the global poverty be eradicated by 2030, and 67% of the people are promised, and so ending the global poverty is not possible, but only 30% people says that it may be possible. So in the poverty is all is from the every when the target by 2030, 1.25% who earn money is called the extreme poverty from the 2015 SDG Goal. Ensure that all men and women, poor and the vulnerable, equal rights to the economic resource, access to the basic service, and ownership. Also control over land, the poverty, interest and natural resource, new technology and financial service. And also we can say in the context of the poverty in the Nepal, 18.7% poverty in Nepal, but multi-dimensional people are the 28.6% poverty in Nepal.
Miss Minmaya, please, you have only 5 minutes, please. You have so many. 5 minutes is yours, please.
Okay, and 28% in the secondary level education poverty, and 37.9% in the university education. And so, who are those people who lead in the world to reduce the poverty? Experts who take the lead and ready volunteer, convinced that can make the difference, and highly active on the social platform, able to spread the enthusiasm and the positivity, and better informed about the UN Sustainable Development Goals for the 2030. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Milmaya Rana from Nepal. I see that Miss Sunita Singhvi come here. Miss Sunita Singhvi, the stage is yours. Sunita Singhvi, do you hear us?
Let's call the next speaker.
Okay, okay.
If she's here, she'll just write a message and we'll call her.
Okay.
So, should I call the next one, Nada? Is it okay?
Yes, we will call our great speaker, our next great speaker, Dr. Pradeep Das Gupta from India. Dr. Pradeep, are you here? Dr. Pradeep is not here. Okay. Our next speaker is Pratima Sinha from India. Is Miss Pratima Sinha here? Miss Pratima Sinha. Do you see her, Achla? No. No, she is also not here. We have make a schedule. We have make a schedule with the time. The schedule is made and everybody knows that time. But as I said at the beginning, it's very hard to make that because everybody is a speaker only for 5 minutes. And if everybody know that he is today speaking, I think that he must respect the time because if somebody is not here, we are moving so fast and going ahead. So I will make a little break. I will show one video, and I hope that our speakers who registered for today, for the first day of conference, will come and present their work. So we will go to a little video. I will share the screen. Mhm.
Join us to make a difference in the orbits of education. We are the change, we are IIU. Are you a K-12 school offering a top quality education? Are your students getting global exposure? Is experiential learning and innovation a part of your curriculum? Are your teachers internationally certified educators? Are you able to identify your learners' potential and expose them to compete globally? If the above questions do not sound optimist, then the clock has struck to get accredited and affiliated by IIU. You think of strategies, training, competitions, we offer it. You want to interact with an expert team of educators, we possess it. You want to be exposed to learning at a global platform? If yes, you have embarked at the right destination. IIU's International School Accreditation Board. Let's put some light over accreditation, what it is. Why do we need it? Simply put, accreditation is value. In today's challenging world, it is extremely important that institutes or schools be accredited and approved with the institutes, meet certain standards. Accreditation assures employers that the graduates of an accredited institute are ready to face challenges and rigors of the modern world. The students who graduate from accredited institutes and schools have access to enhanced opportunities and employment and global mobility. IIU accreditation affiliation has no bars for any boards like state boards, CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, IB. IIU accreditation affiliation has created an arena for learners across the various countries and continents throughout the globe. What are you waiting for? Apply now. IIU's International School Accreditation Board.
Yes, this is showing how IIU has before 15 days a big convocation and is also planning a new in Nigeria. So here is our respected Professor Charles from Nigeria, and he will have a great opportunity to be a host at that big event. Now I will go again at the beginning and call the speakers who were not here with us on the time. So again, we will call Ayse Aydogan Gazer from Turkey. Is Ayse Aydogan Gezer from Turkey with us? Achla, do you see him?
Nada, we don't see him yet.
Okay. Do we see Kizerbo Tidiane from Burkina Faso?
Can you say the first name again, Nada, please?
Kizerbo Tidiane.
Not so far.
The first name was Ayse Aydogan, Gezer, Turkey.
Okay.
Don't really see them yet.
Professor Jared Akama Onyari. Professor Jared Akama Onyari from Kenya. Singvi from India. Miss Sunita Singvi from
I think Archie Bishop G is here. So can you hear us?
I can hear you very well.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
your voice is loud and clear. You can please start the speech.
Thank you very much. Greetings to all Igbo moderators and directors and speakers of IIU. This is a great development that we all like, and this is a welcome stage that we are in. We want to talk about the end of poverty, a plan on how to end poverty. Actually, my definition of poverty is humanity at the state of destitution. And what actually makes us human is the fact that we have a caring heart. We love one another and we stand for each other. But at this stage, when we are at the state of destitution, we become helpless, we become dependent, and we become a liability. Suddenly, our humane side becomes desperate. No one cares for the other person. As it is now, the Sustainable Development Goal, which say we should need to eradicate poverty, end poverty by 2030, is a welcome development. So we must look at some certain issues which are critical to help us to end the poverty level. As we know, the global pandemic has increased the poverty level all over the world. Is it the people who are working, who are now jobless? Is it students who can no longer go to school? Is it the agriculturists who no longer have funds to go and work in the farmland? And so we need to come together, all hands must be on deck to see how we harness our various capacity and ability to make sure we bring the sustainable goal to a reality. One, we know that we have what a word we call ordinary, and there are words we refer to as extraordinary. And there are words that we call natural, and there are those that we call supernatural. For those who understand these words, we must understand there is also a supernatural God, which is a global entity. We must also rely on and call on him for assistance sometimes so that our plans and goals can be materialized easily. We're talking about the God factor, all religious leaders. And then number two, in every family, there are those who are richer than others. That is the way we are. Some people are so rich, so wealthy, that they can feed a whole street, a whole community, they can feed their families. What I'm talking about is being our neighbor's keeper. If we can reach out to some of those neighbors, to the vulnerables, to those children who cannot go to school, there are children who are living out there who don't even have a square meal. As I'm talking to you right now, where I am in my state, we are under 24-hour curfew lockdown. And then people are struggling, people are suffering amidst the pandemic. So we need to reach out to our neighbors. There are families who are rich, who can give food to their next door neighbors. There are those who can feed people's school fees. There are those who can raise help and assistance from their various platforms. I think it is a welcome development. And also, we can go into what we call community development work, whereby we can work as a community. There are communities where we have the rich. Like where I am, there are places where GRAs, where the rich dwells, and we have the poor people on the poverty line, which are in the areas which are referred as the low class level. If those at the high class level can reach out a hands to those at the low class level, it will go a long way to end poverty. When the rich continues to become richer and the poor continues to become poorer, with this mentality in our head, the poverty level will never end. If you and I can, in our own little way, reach out to our next door neighbor, our friend, that farmer on the street. It may not be our brother who is a farmer, but it may be a farmer who is farming that can feed other people, help them to even get fertilizer, or help them to buy a tractor that they can use to farm. It is a good step to end the poverty line. And then also, we can also talk about national level. There are countries who have more affluence than others. If you understand, there are like I don't want to mention names. There are countries who are so rich that they could help the other poorer nations of the world, like help them out of poverty. There are nations who are busy buying ammunition for warfare, nuclear weapons, and all that. It is good to defend their nations, but some of those resources can be channeled into helping the less privileged in the society. And then we can also help those other poorer nations who are going through abject poverty. There are nations where students hardly go to school. There are nations where mothers can hardly eat a 3-square meal in a day. There are nations where even the president can even hardly have a good drive. Some of them, if you go to the embassies, it is a pursuit of mine compared to the other nations. If those nations who have more affluence can work hand in hand with those nations who are poorer in nature, it will end the global poverty line. Let me tell you, no matter how we look at it, the more wars we have, the less we will be able to achieve the 2030 poverty goal. It is still eminent that people are still killing. And then I need to add this also. We're talking about re-ending the poverty level. Why don't you also engage the service of clergies who are also working hand in hand? Like in my country here, and I've seen some in other countries of the world, where they reach out with palliatives, helping the needy. Let's welcome them. Some of them have the capacity to pray for those with the COVID-19 virus, because some of them, because of the COVID-19 virus, they can't even go to work. They can pray for them and see how God can heal them. I, in particular, pray for people with COVID-19 and they are healed. I am not the only one. I believe there are others who have the same grace like me. We can employ them and that's how we pray. All that matters is that we put an end to the pandemic so that we can end this poverty once and for all. God bless you. Thank you, and God bless you. Can you hear me, Nada, over there? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Ajay.
Hello, Nada.
Hello.
Thank you very much. You can hear me very well, right?
No, thank you so much, Archibishop. It's a lovely speech, and you actually focus on the kind of factors the poverty depend and what kind of steps we need to take. That was really motivating, energetic. Thanks a lot from all of our side. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I just want to say God bless you. Let's keep this up. Let this be a continual process, and let's keep moving it forward.
Thank you so much. We all are here for the same mission here, and thank you so much for supporting the mission. So,
thank you very much. God bless you.
Yeah. Further going ahead, let me just see if Arya Surikanta from India is here. Arya Surikanta from India is here. Okay. Sapna Rakesh from India. Sapna Rakesh from Dr. Pradeep Das Gupta ji from India. There are few people in the waiting room also. Fatima Sinha ji from India. Are you here, ma'am? Okay. Miss Nikita Kothari from India. Are you here, Nikita ji? Can you hear me? Okay. Next is Vinay Kumar Yadav from India. Vinay ji, are you here? Try Nadila from Indonesia. I'm really apologize if I'm saying I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly. Try Nadila from Indonesia. Are you here? Okay, I'm going ahead. It is Lucia Salvador Bizeto, Brazil. Are you here, sir? I repeat, Lucia Salvador Bizeto from Brazil.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening.
Can you hear me, dear?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to hear you. I'll just tell a little bit about yourself to the audience. You have given a very brief introduction, and it's really so inspiring to have you here, ma'am. How do you pronounce your name? Can you please tell me? Sorry.
Beatriz.
Beatriz. Oh, I'm so sorry for that.
Yes,
I
no
just
problem.
apologize. Okay. So Beatriz, she has done postdoctoral student at University of Aveiro, Portugal, PhD in administration from Ministry of Taxios, Brussels, UCS, PUC, RS agreement, Master in Business Administration for University of Taxios. And you are also related with spirituality between Brazil, Pakistan, India. That's quite interesting. Governments and Entrepreneurship, National and International Journal Review, editor of Tropio magazine. Interesting. International book co-author and national book author and book chapter conference speaker and online conference organizer. This is really inspiring, ma'am. Could you please take the stage?
Yes. Thank you very much for your kind words, Mr. Esha.
Miss Achla. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to thank Miss Nada too. Okay. All right. I'm going to talk about the theme here. The UN has prepared an agenda to transform our world to 2030 for sustainable development. The UN and its partners in Brazil are working to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. In fact, it is a global call to action to end poverty, protect the environment and the climate, and ensure that people everywhere can enjoy peace and prosperity. These are the goals to which the United Nations is contributing so that we can achieve the 2030 agenda in Brazil. They seek to realize everyone's human rights and achieve equality in the dimensions of sustainable development that include economy, social, and environmental. They emphasize that they are determined to end poverty and hunger in all its forms and dimensions and ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality in a healthy environment. We are determined to protect the planet from degradation, particularly through sustainable consumption and production, sustainable management of its natural resources, and taking urgent action on climate change so that it can support the needs of present and future generations. The objectives and goals are an extremely ambitious and transformative vision. A world free of poverty, hunger, disease, and destitution envisioned, where all life can prosper. Envisioning a world free from violence, wars, and fears, a world with universal literacy, with universal equity to quality education at all levels, is healthcare and social protection where physical, mental, and social well-being are ensured. A world where the human right to clean water and sanitation and with better hygiene, where food is enough, safe, affordable, and nutritious. A world where human habitats are safe, resilient, and sustainable, and where the universal access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy. All this would be perfect, right? But there is a great concern, particularly youth unemployment, and great concern about the global health threats, more frequent and intense natural disasters, rising conflicts, violent extremism, terrorism, and related humanitarian crises, and forced displacement of people threatening reverse much of the development progress made in the recent decades. The depletion of the natural resources and the negative impacts of environmental degradation, including desertification, drought, land degradation, freshwater scarcity, and loss of biodiversity, add to and exacerbate the list of challenges facing humanity. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time, and its negative effects undermine the ability of all countries to achieve sustainable development. In my opinion, what is missing are basic principles that depend only on each one of us in our schools. We are very attached to impose theories that last for hundreds of years. We always hope that the others do. We need to teach young people to be entrepreneurs, create opportunities to at least support their families. We need to encourage the production of durable goods and not just produce disposable products. The world is not disposable. Environmental education is lacking in school and homes. We won't be able to change the whole world, but we are doing it with a lot of love. Teach a child to plant a tree. Teach her or him why trees are needed. Teach them to water and fertilize the plant. Teach your child to charge people who throw garbage in the street. The child has the power of persuasion. Invite a child to see a polluted river and tell him or her how many fish they are suffering there. Encourage the children to consume natural products, but tell them why this is important. Do not encourage children to fix their toys. Encourage them to take care of their clothes, and when it's no longer useful, donate to a colleague. But also encourage them to wear clothes from other colleagues. This will contribute to the circular economy. Finally, do all these practices yourself. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you there, Beatrice, very, very much. Our Beatrice is a big leader. She's with us in IIU. She's also a global edu leader, and everything, the best and the great presentation. Thank you very much, and greetings to Brazil. I apologize, I lose the internet connection. I talk to my friend Charles. Dear Charles, do you see that I in Croatia also have problems like you? Okay, we are moving to the next. Our next speaker is Miss Ishaf Ahmad Vagai from India. Is Miss Ishaf Ahmad Vagai with us from India? Okay. Our next speaker is, I'm not sure that I will spell it, okay? MPHO Fakishi Lesotho. MPHO Miho Fakisi Lesotho. Is it with us? No.
No, we can't see that name.
Can you just see Dr. I think Sunita ji is here. She messaged that she's
Sanita is okay. So we must come back. Sanita is
Sunita.
Sunita Singvi 8 number. Is Miss Sunita Singvi with us? Miss Sunita.
I think she has again lost the connection. So
is Mr. Suryakanta with us? Suryakanta, is he with us? Sapna Rakesh. Sapna Rakesh. Dr. Pradek Das.
Sunita ji is here. Another Sunita, Miss Sunita is here, I think so, yeah. Can you hear Sunita? Miss Sunita?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay. Our Sunita Singhvi is a science graduate done schooling from Imer Sophia, event planner by profession, working also as a chairperson for being Manav Extension Committee, and she believes in independent outlook of a person. Miss Sunita Singhvi, the stage is yours.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a science graduate. I've done my schooling from Ajmer.
We have some
Thank you so much, Nanda, for wanting to speak on this wonderful platform. Goals design. These are the goals designed to achieve a better and more justable future for all. These goals addresses the global challenges we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. At present, 60% of India's population, or an estimated 8.2 million people, live below the poverty line. Imagine the gripping ache of empty stomach. Imagine them continuously being at the risk of dying from diseases that we know how to prevent. Imagine the children and just one mosquito bite away from death. They are just trying to survive each day in conditions that many of us can barely imagine. It seems as if the world is blind to their struggles and their dreams. We cannot leave these people behind. It's time now to act. It's time now to commit ourselves to sustainable development goals, including our goal of ending extreme poverty in our world. It's an urgent work that must be done. We must stand with these struggling families. We must support them as they work and strive for a better life. We need to end the injustice of extreme poverty. We need to uphold the inherent dignity of every human being. Whatever it takes, we can't let them down. Now the question arises before us. How do we meet these goals? And how can we do our work better? How can we stretch our resources and our funding more effectively? First, we need to provide food security and improve nutrition. Second, we need to extend our health resources and facilities. Third, we need to ensure that each child is provided with equal rights to education. And lastly, we need to build resilience.
Mrs. Sunita, please, can you stop a minute? Please mute yourself. Everybody must mute himself.
Achieving economic sustainable development, we need to break the cycle of poverty. We need to generate employment and be Atmanirbhar. Talking about the economical pillar, all the countries will be affected by a changing climate. But the world's poorest people will bear the heaviest burden. From rising seas and more intense droughts, shortages of water and food, we will be witnessed as climate changes refugees very soon. As far as the social sustainable development goes, we need to give equal rights and power to our women. We need to educate women. Their children are more likely to get an education. Their families are healthier and more prosperous. Their communities and countries do better as well. So India must invest in the education and health and skills of our women and girls. Future generation of young people watching today and tomorrow will judge us by the choices we make in the months and years. So let's strive and achieve.
I think that Miss Sunita is in school. Are you, Miss Sunita, talking from school?
Then my schooling.
I think she has lost the connection, Miss Nada. But
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
but it was
She's in the school,
yeah,
bad network and big noise also is coming from her
yeah,
school.
but she gave a wonderful speech.
Yes, we lost Miss Sunitu Singhvi in the full. Okay, let's move further. I am calling Miss Pratima Sinha from India. Is Miss Pratima Singha from India here? Miss Pratima Singha. Miss Pratima Singha. Okay, moving to the next. Miss Nikita Kotari, India. Miss Nikita Kotari, India. Miss Nikita Kotari from India.
No, Nada, we can't see Nikita.
Okay, but I think that Tria Nadila is with us. Tria Nadila from Indonesia. I saw Tria Nadila. Here, I think that our speakers are not, don't respect their time, their tasks, so it is not good. Here from me, I see my dear Ambassador Dr. Lilibet Gregor. Ambassador Dr. Lilibet Gregor, are you ready for your speech? Could you speak now, please?
My dear, I have ready my engagement tomorrow. The zero hunger.
Okay, so you
Yes.
are our guest today.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, but
tomorrow,
today,
yes. Tomorrow is the zero hunger, my topic.
Yes, yes, I said you are today
Yes.
our guest. Okay, okay. I respect that, and I'm very happy that you are here with us today. Thank you very much. I'm calling Vinay Kumar Yadav from India. Vinay Kumar Yadav from India. Is she with us? No, but Miss Beatrice was.
Actually, maybe you know what you could do is maybe you can put some names on the chat in the order for maybe like next 2, 3. So you know, even if people
Dr. Vijay
sometimes are
Kumar
not
Salve
paying
is present.
attention. Okay, yeah, we got
Dr.
Dr.
Vijay Kumar
Salvia.
Salvia is here, so we will listen his speech. Dr. Vijay Kumar, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Would you like me to present you, or you will tell few words about yourself?
Yes, I am sharing the screen.
Okay, thank you.
Are you getting?
Yes, we see now, yes, we see this brochure, No Poverty, Why It Matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is the, thank you for calling me myself, Dr. Vijay Kumar Salvia, the Presidential Advisor of International Research and Development Community Organization, USA, India. And we are also promoting happiness among society and all over the world. Today's for the Sustainable Development Goal, we have the first goal, that is no poverty, and why it matters. So if you know that so many speakers has talked about the no poverty, and it is the good initiative of International Internship University to define again the sustainable development goals for the development of the world and also for the development of the society. First, the no poverty. Actually, the no poverty is the poverty is the word which we can say it is now today's date, after getting so much health, so much education, and so much prosperity in the world. The poverty is only due to the determination which doesn't the economic person have. So we all, whatever the educationist or the developed person, should work to related to the sustainable. That is, the poverty is only because of the we are not using our resources, our technology, and our development for the development of the low cost people. If you see, if we are every year we are seeing the demographic that the Zambia and other Southeast countries and African countries, they are always in a poverty level. And some of the other developed countries also have some type of, we can say, just like people who is below poverty level, that is $1.90 per day, they can't achieve. So it is because of we are not developing people for a sustainable with respect to the environment, with respect to their whatever the skill development present there, whatever the resources present there, we are not using that. So we can reduce the poverty by such type of technological, by such type of skill development to use the resources which is available to the nature. If you see the tribes, we are preserving the tribes. Why we are preserving the tribes? Because they are sustaining their lives with respect to the society and the environment, and they are also beneficial for our ecosystem. And tribes are not wearing any clothes. They are not eating such type of luxurious food, just like a 5-star or whatever. But we are preserved that, and we are we can say a biosphere we have formed. So poverty is just a mental situations we have. If someone doesn't have the shelter, if someone doesn't have the food, if someone doesn't have the clothes, we are saying that he is very low and below a person or a power under the poverty level. But those who are living with respect to the environment in some type of leaves, they are eating the leaves for environment save, for because their culture is like that, they are seeing. So they are not, we can say they are a very poor person. So poverty is only can be removed by better situation, and also to give whatever the person need according to their biosphere. So if we give a proper food in the sense of where they are living in such a case, so we have to make such type of development with respect to the present situations there. So if there whatever the resources available there, if we use such resources to make such type of persons to be fulfilled, then we can reduce the poverty. So we have to increase the productivity. We have to use whatever the knowledge we have, the resource persons like we had all gathered here. Similarly, the market we have to develop there. Commercial innovations we have to develop. Distribution chain, supply chains we have to develop here. However, some of the persons need shelters, food, and clothes also. So we have to provide them, and we make skills. We should make educations, and that's why that we can remove the poverty. So that's why the sustainable development goals involves the first is poverty, because we have to make our system, it's just like a sustainable. After COVID, we are saying that yes, we can do it by if we are close to the nature. If everybody taking a steps to close to the nature and also develop innovations in such a manner, then we will remove such type of poverty, and those persons who have the lack and scarcity of such type of whatever the materialism they want, we can achieve such target. So not taking so much time, thanks to IIU and all the dignitaries that I have present here by lecture for the this sustainable development goals. Thank you all of you, and welcome to our international R&D creative organizations for the with the IIU and Happiness Club International for the happiness in the society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, respected Dr. V.I. Kumar, on your wonderful speech, wonderful explanations about stopping the poverty. I put in the chat some names of our keynote speakers, so please read if anybody is here. I want him to say hello, because today is his day, and we will not return back with these speakers. So please read the name here in the chat. I will go further to the next speaker. Our next speaker, yes, is anybody here from these names here? No. I will go next. Abdel Hadi Kalfadir from Morocco. Abdel Hadi Kalfadir
Hello.
from, hello?
Hello.
Yes, is that Abdel Hadi Kalfadir?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
respected, thank you.
yeah.
Hello, and thank you very much. Please,
Yeah.
welcome. And would you
Thank-
introduce yourself with few words? Because I had write in the forms, please, short bio. But I get bios from 10 pages. So the stage is your respected Abdel Hadi. And welcome.
Yeah, hello everybody. I have the honor and privilege to take part in this international conference. I would like to thank IIU for giving me the opportunity to address such wonderful and distinguished audience. My name is Abdel Khalfadir. I'm a teacher of English in Morocco. I've been teaching English for more than 12 years, and you know, I have taken part in so many international conferences. In my speech, I would like to talk about the key concepts related to the topic of poverty. So as we know, to prevent poverty in the future, we have to understand all the key concepts related to this topic. First, poverty is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks the essentials or financial resources for a minimum standard of living. Beyond this general definition, there are other perspectives about how best to define poverty. What does that mean? It means inability to satisfy the minimal consumption needs of a society. The minimal needs depend on a society. So if you live in a society where you need to have a car, then the minimal consumption need is that you have a car. But of course, if you live in a less developed society, having a car is ridiculous luxury. They don't even need it, especially in the agrarian society. So from this general definition, there are perspectives to define the concept of poverty. The way economists have divided this out is that in one view, poverty is the lack of the basic human needs in an absolute sense. That is the unchanging and the constant. In another view, poverty is a relative concept in which varies across societies and changes over time. These perspectives, you know, are reflected into two types of poverty: absolute poverty and relative poverty. Absolute poverty is characterized by severe deprivation of basic human needs such as food, sanitation, education, health care, and so on. Relative poverty is when households receive less than 50% than average household incomes. They do have some money, but still not enough money to afford anything above the basics. This type of poverty is, on the other hand, changeable depending on the economic growth of the country. So the question that we have to ask is, why are people poor, and why do so many human beings live in such desperate circumstances while others are flourishing? To end poverty for good, we must understand what causes it and what factors exacerbate it. You know, the causes of poverty are complex and interlinked. We could say, for example, that historical circumstances such as wars, create poverty. But even during wartime, there are certain groups of people who are more likely to fall into destitution than others. So historical events or circumstances alone don't provide a full explanation. Ethnicity, gender, disabilities, and other socioeconomic factors like corruption, discrimination, and so on and so forth all play a part. On top of these man-made differences, geographic location also matters. Where you live in the world, or whether or not that place is prone to climate or weather events such as tsunamis, floods, typhoons, earthquakes, or even climate change can have a great impact on whether or not you experience poverty. Most of the time, it is a combination of factors that create poverty, almost all of which are outside of the individual's control. So one thing to remember is that poverty is not a choice. I would like to say what Nelson Mandela said, like slavery or apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made. It can be eradicated and overcome by the action of human beings. There are a lot of ways we can do to put an end to the problem of poverty. I would like to say only one because I don't have a lot of time to say all the solutions. The main or the most important one for me is equity, equality, social justice, and democracy for all. As I said before, the main causes of poverty are marginalization, exclusion, and social injustice. For a community to work its way out of poverty, all groups must be involved in the decision-making policy, especially when it comes to have a say in the things that determine your place in society. If we work together, if we give opportunities to all people, we can solve the problem of poverty. And thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Abdelhadi, on your wonderful presentation. I'm really impressed with
Thank
your
you.
great speech, with your thinking. Yes, we are here today to give our plan how to stop the poverty. You really gave us your great and big plan. So thank you. Thank you very much. And now I would really want we have a time for questions and answers. This presentation was wonderful, and I want our guests here today to be free and to ask you some questions if they are interested for that. Because really, we have many questions that we can ask you today, what you presented to us. Thank you. Please, if anybody here has a question, can ask our speaker Abdelhad few questions.
May I? Dr. Suchitra Bhattacharya.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Just wanted to my presentation is tomorrow. So however beautifully presented by all the speakers, one question I would like to ask is, what as an individual, can do to stop poverty? If someone could just give us an exact answer, like as an individual, what is our responsibility to ensure that we stop poverty? Thank you.
Yes, that is the question.
I would like to answer this. For an individual, what can be poverty can be removed by if you see your whatever the we can say nearer around you, you see what you can do. If whatever the qualities you have, you circulate your qualities to such person who need this. Poverty means in what respect they are poor. If they want food, so if those who can't work for the food, they have to supply food. Otherwise, those who have the skills or those who can work, if they have the head, if they have the legs, and they are in a healthy position, then they can do a work. We should provide a work to such person, those who can do something. If someone is handicapped, then it is if other NGOs are working or government or local bodies are working for those, it's okay. Otherwise, we have to skill up such type of person, because there are so many handicaps are working for for the professions. If they otherwise, if they have not a condition like old and all, they can they are not can't do anything. Then through an NGO, we should work for that person. So whatever the capability you have, if you are educated and if you have to boost up the you can say determination to boost up, then we can do all these things. So individual can do. There are so many persons here, so many persons in the world. Those the poorer person is less, but the richest person are very much in number. So if individual work, if any individual person can work according to their quality, then poverty will be removed automatically. It is my suggestions. It is my view. Other speakers can also see their, can ask their, can talk about their views.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vijay, sir. And I think that's right. We all need to join hands together. Thank you.
Can I just add to Dr. Vijay what you said just now, if I'm allowed to do that?
Yes, of course.
Dr. Vijay, it's really glad to have you here. I was hearing your speech and just now you answered one of the question, and it was truly what's going on was in my mind. But to add on to that, I want to say that poverty is also related to sustainable lifestyle. You know, what you have inside your home, you can use that and you can go ahead with that instead of going to the malls and instead of spending lots of money. You know, these two things are quite related. Instead of going to the malls and spending money on a huge thing, you can go to the local fruit vegetables wala in India. I know you go to the vocal for local. These two things are quite related. So if you're adopting sustainable lifestyle, it also add on to the poverty. I hope I'm fine with that.
Yes, you are also talking very good. Yes, this is also the, if we for example, if we are celebrating our birthday, our marriage anniversary, or whatever the good celebrations in our home, then we should we can celebrate with the poor peoples, with they have to give some whatever they want, need, because everybody in a life, everybody in a family, there are 4 persons minimum, like that, husband, wife, and their 2 children or 1 children, whatever. So for in each year, or each birthday, like in this year for husband birthday, next year for wife birthday, or next year their sons or daughter's birthday. So we can celebrate these birthdays with the poor people, those who needs. And poor people to give something, this doesn't think we have to give the money, we have to give the clothes or whatever. Whatever we can assist him, we have to assist him. We have to assist him for the sustainable. We have to assist him for the development, not donating. Because after getting donation, the most of the person says, I also want donate. I also want donation. So why I should do work? So work is made. Donation should be behind that.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vi. Thank you on your explanation. Do we have anybody else that want to speak on this topic, please? Is anybody else here to ask something?
Yeah, I am Amina from Pakistan.
Hello, Amina from Pakistan.
Yeah, I am asking that how we can handle the, and want 0% hunger, because many countries are so poor and they are living below normal life. So on wide range, how we can handle this crisis, and we put out the peoples from out of hunger, from hunger. So how we can help? Either we give them any skill to means arrange the livelihood, to arrange the money, or something else. So I want some ideas to generate. If please you kind answer me.
If anybody want to speak, that please come. Otherwise, I will give answer.
Dr. V, I have all answers, okay?
Vijayji, you can please go ahead.
You can answer, yes.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. So yes, for this, my suggestion is that if whatever the country they needs, we have to talk with the government of that country how we can help those persons who want to help these such type of countries or such type of people. We have to talk with the government. Yes, we want to help you, and similarly, whatever they want, whatever they need, like if they need shelter, if they need food, if they need clothes. So those who want to work for that, they should move forward to the government, and always and if because they want some permission to work there. Like that, we can do for that. And similarly, if some government has some we can say strict rules and regulations for that, so United with United Nations we can work. So by United Nations we can do everything.
Thank you, Dr. Vi. Thank you. Is there anybody else that want to talk about this?
Just Pratibha here.
Okay.
Yes, Pratibha.
Yeah, it's a great listening to Mr. Vijay, Dr. Vijay. It was very insightful, and I really appreciate he has created so many things where I feel each and everyone can take away from his speech. And he rightly said that we need to approach the government. We need to, but I feel I'll support Dr. Vijay for this. And Dr. Vijay, I would like to say one thing. There are so many NGOs, they are working for this. Like our SBP is also one of the same. If you see, we are working at large to help these people and to eradicate such kind of things. But still, there are, in the society where we need to create the awareness. They know there are places where they can approach and they can go by joining hands to go to the government. But approaching government is not that easy. As we all know, any of the country, when we go about, either you talk about India, you talk about abroad, anywhere. But when we talk in a group of people, when we come together and we join hand for one mission, I think it works. Rather than going to government, let us make one committee where we can create the awareness around the society, nearby the society. Like if we are in group of 100, and if we talk in our specific areas to help the people who are underprivileged, they cannot have even normal basic things. I feel it will help all of us to create such of awareness that don't worry, we are here, we are there. And those who are well off, they can do this, and they can have their own SOPs to help the people. See, anything can be possible if we come together. I feel personally, and it was amazing listening you. And I feel today you nailed it. Rather than by you, there are many, as rightly Nada said, that the people, the speakers, those who have enrolled, but they failed to be a part of today's event. It means somewhere this kind of ethic is even very much important to inculcate in all of us, that when we commit, we should be there, because we are trying to create a beautiful society where we need to work on such kind of mission. So what kind of responsibility we are showing? So one small 5 minutes, if we cannot spare to give our ideas, where we can exchange the ideas, which can be taken ahead in various part of the country or various parts of the globe, I think then where we are standing. So I feel it should be a message to each and every one. When you commit 100%. When you commit for any of the things, do 100%. That will give a first improvement in all the sustainable development goals. Either you talk about poverty, you talk about illiteracy, you talk about any goals, you touch any goals, but there are things which we need to really work on it. So it's a message for everyone. Please commit to yourself, then you try to change. I think it will help. I'm sorry, it's in general, so don't take it anyone personal. But then this is what I feel, because I saw many are absent. Being a speaker, I think we should respect that, right? Correct, Naga?
Thank
You
you.
are right. You are right.
Thank you there, Pratibha. Thank you. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Today, we give to everybody a big chance to speak. And it is very, very sad that people who apply for only 5 minutes couldn't get here today. But I think this session with all of these speakers today was wonderful. All the speakers were wonderful, and we are still not at the end. We have also a great speaker who is waiting for his time.
Nada, can I have a word about this? Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. I want just to have a word with you. Be an active participant, just a passive one. I wanna come to the presentation of Mr. Khalfadir.
Okay.
And I'd like to seize this opportunity to thank him for his invaluable presentation. Talked about definition, types, causes, as well as solutions of this global phenomenon, which is a real threat to the peace and security of our world today. And during his presentation, he noted that all groups must participate in policy making to achieve that equal opportunities, okay, and which is a possible and practical way to share this power in policy making. My question is, if it is possible to answer, is there a relationship between poverty and vulnerability and the social conflicts and wars that are availing around the world today? And thank you for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, respected Amujuri, that you are involved in this session. Is anybody here who wants to answer this question, please? Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to thank Mr. Azdil Hakim. He's a great teacher, by the way, and he's my friend and my colleague in WhatsApp. I would like to thank him very much for asking this good question. So concerning the causes of poverty, Mr. Azdil Hakim mentioned that there is a relationship between wars and poverty. Yes, of course, as I said before in my speech, historical circumstances such as wars create poverty. But of course, there are, even during wartime, there are some people who are more likely to fall into destitution than others. So this is not the main cause of poverty. There are other causes of poverty: ethnicity, gender, age, disability. All these factors can have or can be or can have a great impact on society and can create poverty. On top of these factors, these are, by the way, man-made factors. Geographic location also matters. Where you live and what part of the world you live in can have a huge impact on people. There are some places who are prone to climate or extreme weather events such as floods, tsunamis, earthquakes can have an impact on whether you experience poverty or not. So the main solution, as I said, equity, yeah, equity and equality for all. Yes, for a community to work its way out of poverty, just the last one, all groups must be involved in the decision-making policy, especially when it comes to have a say in the things that determine their place in society. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khalfadi. Thank you, Mr. Khalfadi, for your nice presentation.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Is your good friend, teacher, Mr. Amjouri, satisfied with the answer? I see that
Yes.
Morocco has
definitely.
wonderful educators and wonderful humanic people who is working a lot on SDG, and I see on poverty the first and very, very important sustainable development goal. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
very much.
we are very proud, and we are very
Thank you
proud to
very much
work
for a wonderful
with
answer.
you, with IIU. We are very proud to work together with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are proud to work with you also. IIU is really, really proud on his partners, members, and I am free here to call everybody here to join us and be a part of our big family. We will continue with our speak, but we have also a wonderful person, a wonderful educator, Dr. Tasnem Ali. Dr. Tasnem Ali, would you want to present now? Dr. Tasnem Ali, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening to everyone. And sorry.
Please, could you present alone yourself? Because when I read a big CV, I really don't know what to say about a person who has 10, 12, 13 pages written about herself. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Nada, for today, I'm extremely sorry. I want to be, off video because I'm not well. I took my first dose of vaccination.
It's not problem. It's not problem. We would like to see you because our doctor is a so beautiful lady.
Today
She's
I'm not looking.
smart.
I'm not
She's so smart and so beautiful. But today
on next day,
will
I'm
forget
not dressed up. Nada, I'm not dressed up that well because I really want to keep my video off. As I took my first dose of vaccination and I am in a fever since morning, but as I have committed to you that I will be the part of this forum and I'll speak for 5 minutes. I have just joined. So please allow me to off video only. And yes, I really want to express my views on this a very, very important topic of the day, as everywhere in the world we are struggling with the poverty, and especially post-pandemic or this pandemic area, this COVID-19 thing. So what I feel, Nada, that the test of our progress is not whether we aid more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little, or are we providing for them? It's a question. This saying is particularly applicable in the case of those who have starved for food. You know, poverty, hunger, and malnutrition are major risks to health worldwide. Even in the 21st century, nearly half of the world's population, or I must say more than 3 billion people, lives below the poverty line, and more than 80% of the world's total population earn less than their basic needs. Focusing on how to stop poverty is very, very important, both in the ways that an individual can have an impact and on the wider changes that need to be made to bring to end the poverty. I must say, even before the coronavirus disease, COVID-19 pandemic, progress towards sustainable goal 1, which we are discussing today, the poverty, has slowed, and the world has not on track to ending extreme poverty by 2030. Now, as the world anticipates the worst economic fallout since the Great Depression, tens of millions of people will be pushed back into poverty. Ongoing years of steady improvement, as the economic impact of the pandemic began to be felt more strongly, the importance of robust social protection system for safeguarding the poor and vulnerable is becoming clearer than ever. So too is the need for effective emergency preparedness, both for pandemic and other hazards that cause disaster. And I strongly believe that reducing poverty requires a focus on what government need to do and what individuals need to do. We need a combination of responsible policies and responsible behavior. Although there are many things that might be done to reduce poverty, I want to urge for a focus on 3 priorities: getting a good education, not having children before you marry, and working full-time. Government should expect people to make real effort to comply with each of these norms. When they do, then government should reward such behavior by making sure that those who play by the rules will not be poor. And according to me, one of the most effective policy we could put in place to ensure that everyone gets a good education would be provide very high quality early education to all children from low income families. Many people believe that education in the preschool years only affects young children. In fact, the evidence from both neuroscience and from carefully done program evaluation shows that preschool experience have long-lasting effects and may be most cost-effective way to ensure that more children are successful in the early age, graduate from high school, go on to college, and earn more as adult. The federal government could further this goal by providing match funding to states that are willing to invest in high-quality early education for those living in low-income neighborhoods, starting in the first year of life. Too many of our teens and young adults are having children before they are married and before they are ready to be good parent. In my view, the solution of this problem resides as much in the larger culture in what parents, the media, faith, communities, and key adults say and do, as it does in any shift in government policy per se. However, government can help by providing resources to those fighting this battle in the non-governmental sector by ensuring that its own policy do not inadvertently encourage childbearing outside of marriage, and by supporting programs that have had some success in reducing early out of wedlock childbearing. Another important thing is eliminate gender equality and educate everyone. With 2/3 of world's illiterate being female, the ratio of boys and girls should be made equal in primary, secondary, and tertiary education. Girls that attend school are less likely to get married before age 18, thus decreasing child marriage rate by 64% worldwide. Similarly, literate women are less likely to spread any kind of deadly diseases like HIV, AIDS due to better knowledge of disease transmission, which help to accelerate poverty education in long run. Education help increase individual earning for every member of family. UNESCO point out that basic reading skill can lift 171 million people out of extreme poverty, ultimately reducing the world's total poverty by 12%. UNESCO also mentioned there are currently about 1 billion illiterate adults in the world. Empowering women is critical for ending hunger, poverty, and malnutrition around the world. When women have equal access to education and practice full in decision making, they become the key driving force against hunger and poverty. And for every government of respective country, it must create jobs worldwide. According to the International Labour Organization, 197 million people are without work worldwide. More employment option in a country means more ways to how to stop poverty. To increase empowerment, non-literate people can be taught a few skills to make them employable. Above are the few solutions about how to stop poverty, but first it is important to understand the root of the problem that causes poverty. Since different countries have different reasons for poverty, there will never be a single solution for all. Eradication is a wider issue only. Way out is empowerment through planned, synchronized approach, adopting both short as well as long-term approach effort that are small yet collaborative may bring some positive change in society. We must all lend our assistance to achieve the goal of no poverty worldwide. This is from my side. Thank you so much. Nada, you are muted. You are muted, Nada.
Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful speech. You really inspire us. You make us to think on many things. I mean this for having kids, and many questions are asked really from this. Thank you. Thank you very much for being our guest. I hope that you will also join us these other days when you will be free. Now,
yeah, and I will be, you know, on video today. Really, I'm not feeling good. I'm not looking good. I'm down.
No, Dr. Tasnem, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Because you don't feel good, you come here today because you apply for this conference. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me on this forum. So kind of you, Nada, and pleasure is all mine to be with all the eminent dignitary here who are present. I was listening also to so many people.
Also, Dr. Tasnam, the new conference is in progress. Be free and applied right now for September from 5 to 9 September. Now, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I would call a special person from IIU, one of our big co-founders from United Kingdom. Dr. Satnam, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Nada. Thank you so
we
much.
We want your speech. We want text, and we want to congratulate you once again because you are a big co-founder, and also a strategic partnership is something that IIU is working very hard. Thank you. I'm giving the word to our great Dr. Satnam, our big co-founder from United Kingdom.
Thank you, Nada. Thank you very much for all the love, all the effort. all the support, whatever you do for IIU. Let me take this opportunity while I'm here to say, Nada, every bit of effort that you put in, we are so appreciative of. And the kind of work you're doing, hats off to you. We are very, very grateful to you. And we hope all the success comes your way, because you're making the name for IIU look so glamorous there. You're bringing something that the world needs, you know. And collectively, I said, like Prachiji was here, Mona is here, all our respectable dignitaries from IIU, all our eminent guests, all our speakers, thank you very much for joining us in this cause. Specifically, I was watching everything, but then I thought, you know what, it's our initiative that we also put our thoughts and our vision into it, right? And when I see practical things happening around the world, something that we want to take back, like we're all talking about poverty, right? And we understand how difficult the situation is in various parts of the world. Earlier, we used to talk about poverty and it was regional, that some parts are in a very different zone to compare to the other ones. But now after COVID, I think where the global crisis, you know, the economic crisis have hit, a lot of people who can't even put up their brave face and turn up and say how difficult their situation is economically to handle. I think now the time is to understand how the government, yes, can help, can put initiatives, but at the same time, how individually we can contribute, or what we can actually do as an individual to help. Now, one thing that I see here, you know, even when talking about poverty, poverty also means when you're deprived of food. Okay, and when talking about areas where people do not get food to eat, but there are areas that we are and we're looking at, you know, there is so much waste on food. So what are the practical steps? Now I'm working with some organizations here in Dubai who actually work specifically for this. They collect all the, you know, as soon as the buffet time or the restaurant time closes, what happens is normally, if you understand, you must understand UK standards, European standards, that once the food is left on shelf, after that, they just bin it. So it has a shelf time, you know, after the food is displayed, and all that food, whether it's touched or not touched, will go into waste. So these initiatives, these people, these organizations, they collect the food right at the right time. One is not, obviously the food is not good enough for people to eat. It's just that because of the regulations of the timings, they cannot display or they cannot sell it. So what these organizations are doing, they're carrying that, they take that initiative to bring in their refrigeration or their safe, secure facilities to collect that food and provide it to people where it's required. So I do not know of these kind of organizations in India or any other where. So I would actually request specifically Mr. Piyush Pandit, our co-founder, that because we are now working with the Swarn Bharat Trust and myself as well from UK and UAE and India, we're called Dev Chakar Group. We're also working towards the betterment of the world. My father, Dr. Prakash Lal Dev Chakar is a name that he got from India. It's a name that actually in local language means servant of Lord. And he got that name as a recognition because people used to call him Isa Dev Chakar because he was working selflessly for people. So very quickly on this point, what I want to say is that maybe we will set up another meeting, or maybe with all our people here, you know, maybe we can indulge in initiatives. We understand how to bring more resources in, but what is in our hand, how we can preserve that. Like even at home, how we can restrict wastage, even in terms of, we understand, I'm not trying to deviate from the topic. What I'm trying to say is poverty is shortage for me. Poverty means shortage of facilities, shortage of appliances, shortage of resources, shortage in whatever way we define. So if we cannot actually put our hands and actually grow the possibilities, but there are ways that we can limit that. We can actually limit the wastage. So whatever we can do individually, we can contribute. That's all I tried to say. But thank you, Nada. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you again, everyone. And like I said, you know, it's the very first day, and we wish everyone the best so that we can have seminars like this where we can put some constructive ideas on the platform, and which can be materialized through individual and collective help. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Satnam. Thank you for nice words. Congratulations, and we are happy that you join us here today. Now I want to check again once, is anybody of our missed speakers come back? So please, I will not read again and repeat the names for the 5th time. If anybody who didn't speak today but have come back, please write in the chat or say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, audible? Yes.
You can say, Mr. Amujur, please say.
Yes. Hello. Myself, Amujuri Vishwanath. I am an honorary professor and educationist at International Internship University. I am from India. All the speakers and distinguished guests spoke very well on this topic, end of the poverty. So my question for the speakers is that how can we end the poverty, or how can we eradicate the poverty with respect to the population in India or other countries? That's my question. How can we control this poverty with respect to the population? Yes.
Is anybody here who would answer to Mr. Amjur, please?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, Dr. Amju, the question you just asked is very simple. You are talking in terms of India, where there's a lot of population. Just like Nigeria, we have a lot of population here in Nigeria. And one of the things we talk is population control, which is child planning, family planning, where we talked about how many kids you are supposed to have, maybe 3 to a family or 2 to a family. We actually need to have a population control. And then, like the other speaker said, where we give prizes to people who perhaps like a kind of an achievement or an award, recognition to families who don't have too large a family, like 10, 15. You know, in our parents' days, having a large family is a way of showing affluence. But nowadays, because of the pandemic and because of the economic challenges we are having, just like what Dr. Statman said, poverty is a state of lack. Once there is lack, it's poverty. You can lack money, you can lack intelligence, you can lack education. So the more the population is increasing, the resources can no longer be able to reach everyone. For a family who they are about 5, if you cook, maybe, I don't know how you call it. Here we call it measure. That is a pan. You measure it grain in a pan. I don't know what you call it there. If you cook it for them, it may be enough. But for a family of 100, if you cook something like that, it may not be enough. Actually, there's need to put population control in place and then encourage people not to have too large a family based on the economic challenges we're having now. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, sir, for wonderful your answering. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that.
Mr. Nada, can I have a word about this? I have a say.
Yes, of course. Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity, the second opportunity, not first, it's second opportunity to speak. Thank you. Concerning the question about how to eradicate and how to eliminate, how to alleviate poverty, the former speaker said that the solution to this poverty worldwide lies in the fact that people have too many children, and we are having large families more and more, especially in underdeveloped or poor countries. I do not agree with this point of view to some extent, based on the belief that the reasons of the major causes of poverty does not really lie in the fact of having too many population and too many members among households, but rather I firmly believe that the causes of this global phenomenon, which is a real threat to our peace and our security and our ease of mind, which is poverty. And this poverty, it can entail many other problems like crime and theft and unrest, social conflicts, and many other phenomena. The reason or the solution, in my opinion, the solution lies in the fact that these people who are poor and vulnerable, they are living on the margin of our society, and they are excluded from policy making, and they do not have the opportunity to voice up their claims, to make their problems be heard. So once you are outside the circles of policy making, it means that your problems are not taken into consideration. Your vulnerability is not to be taken care about. So, from my point of view, so as not to speak too much, lies in the inclusion of these people who are marginalized, to give them an ear, to listen to them, to include them in such projects, as human development. Give them opportunities to take part in policy makers and to have representatives in policy making bodies, And thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience again.
No, you don't have to thank us. We are happy, and it is our great honor that we have guests here and speakers who want to make some things very clear, because all of us has many questions about this big and important topic. Yes. Today it is very sad, because in many parts of the world are a lot of people who has not got normal conditions for living.
Okay, Priscilla, send the document. We'll get Basim to sign, you sign, I sign, and finish.
Yeah, okay, I'll send it in a minute, in about 10 minutes. I'll be
Okay,
done.
because why? Because, you know, the person Calvin needs to get this CIS done from.
Dr. Satnam, unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry.
Speaker, you please. Okay, so I can check once again the list of our keynote speakers today, to check is anybody here or come, and if not, we can have a talk or just finish today our session. For me, this was a wonderful session. All speakers who were today here presenting, and all guests and everybody who make a talk and go with this topic, for me, thank him. And thanks to everybody who joined us. I want to say that I put in the chat the registration form. And also, I want to say that we have 54 participants. And that is the number now for the certificate. And people who are here will get the certificate. I will read once again the names of our eminent speakers who were not coming. I'm here. Yes, just a minute, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Be free.
Can
yes.
I say one or two things?
Yes, of
Can
course.
I say one or two things concerning ending of poverty?
Yes, please.
Am I allowed?
Yes, yes, we hear you. Please continue.
I need to appreciate every one of us here present. And we thank God for the grace that God has given us to come today to come and talk on end poverty. Any poverty depends on individual, depend on you. Poverty is a man-made. That was what we have been told right from its inception. It is when you allow poverty, poverty will come. If you don't allow poverty, it will not come. It's a man-made issue. So we must build a resilience concerning whatever is going on. The economy, we know that there's a pandemic, there's pandemic, there whatever it is, diseases, there are a lot of things happening. But it depends on how we look at it, how we're able to manage it. Ability to manage it will not disturb us, then we'll be able to end poverty. We should not allow anything to frustrate us. Any negativity, anything that is negative doesn't look fine. We should avoid any negativity. Everything has to do with we. How is our communication, our relationship? We must relate well to our brothers and sisters, to everybody around us. That is the way to end poverty. We must be able to increase access to education. You must try to know something, try to understand what is going on. Try to be educated, but whatever it is, it depends on what you mean by education. Access, increase access to it. You must be eager. You must have that zeal to know, to acquire knowledge. By the time you have that zeal, nobody will come and disturb you. You'll be able to move freely. You'll be able to know your rights. Ability not to know your right is poverty. We don't want that. We want everybody to be liberated. We want everybody to know their rights, know what they are doing. By the time you know what you are doing, you know your rights. I am telling you, poverty will end. Poverty is a man-made issue. Depends on you. If you want to be poor, it's left with you. Everything has to do with you. We all have the resources, irrespective of whoever is mismanaging the resources. Everything is perfect. It depends on how your relationship with God and your relationship with others. The birds on the air, they feed. What about we? We must feed. Whatever it is, we must feed. So poverty will end, depends on you, how you are able to appreciate one another, how you are able to appreciate God. It has to do with how you relate with people, how do you treat people, equality in an environment, how do you look at the environment, how are you liberal, how are you social, all these things, exposure, how you expose, all these things has to do with individual. If you want to be poor, just be negative. If you don't want to be poor, you want to relieve yourself from poverty, I am telling you, liberate yourself. Don't be selfish. Don't be doing all those negative things. Don't be doing things that are not supposed to be done. We know the word nemesis counts. Whatever thing we are doing, let us be positive. By the time you are positive to things, I am telling you, poverty will go. Poverty is a man-made. Poverty is not something that will tie us. That is why the UN, I thank God for the UN, they are trying their possible best, sending every one of us out to go and let people know. By 2030, poverty must end, if you like it or not. That is why the education is there. IIU is trying, educating us, liberating us. Look at this program. They are liberating us, right? Making us to know our rights, making us to know what we need to know. Unlike those days, what happened? We are not having this opportunity. Now we have the opportunity to express ourselves. We have the opportunity to see, most especially if not IIU, how will you have known me? Nobody will know me. I'm a global man, yes, I'm known all over, but you will not know me, you will not come in touch with me, in contact with me. Everything has to do with you. That is why you are seeing some of us here. So we must try as much as possible, embracing this talent, embracing what we are doing, manage it. Don't be negative about whatever thing is going on. Always be positive. By the time you are positive to things, poverty will go. It's a man-made issue. End of war and conflict. Conflict you are seeing here and there, end it. try to embrace love. By the time you embrace love, the war will end. Why are we having war? Instrument, people will be buying instruments, buying my all those things because they know their evil intention. They are not secured and they don't want people to be secured. That is why you see them buying all these instruments, buying all those things to cause commotion. But when your heart is pure, you circumcise your heart, you make your heart to be happy. Tell me, why will you not be rich? You must surely be rich. It is how you embrace poverty, how you embrace people, how you appreciate people, how you do things, how you relate. That matters. You must always be positive. By the time you are doing that, I am telling you, poverty will run away. Your access, improvement of food security, access to clean water, all this area. Diseases, what we call diseases, when poverty comes as a result of disease, having infection, we are the one causing it. By the time these clean waters are there, all those necessities are there, I'm telling you, poverty will run away, and they are there. Let us embrace it. Let us try to take it. We embrace cash and we embrace the microfinance. Let us embrace all these issues. Embrace it positively, not negatively. So use it to make people to be poor or make people to look somehow. No, we must be positive to everything we have. We have resources all over. Not that we don't have resources for Nigeria, but the management of the resources is the issue. So we must, that resources we are having, by the time we manage it very well, I am telling you, poverty will run. We should not be selfish of the resources we have. Just for me and my family, or make it, let it be, no.
Professor Charles, please. Professor Charles. Professor Charles, please. Please, you are talking so fast. Listen, you talk so fast and we don't understand all of you talk. Please. We have many sessions, many times for make a continuum of this event and speech. Please, I want to call Dr. Satnam to give today a vote of thanks for this session and for calling all of you, dear participants, tomorrow on our second day. Dr. Satnam, please, the vote of thanks. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Nada. Thank you again. Nada, thank you again. Like I said, we really appreciate and we always will. And Dr. Charles, Professor Charles, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nada, what
God bless you.
He has the passion. You know, he's burning with passion.
Yes, he's a passion,
he wants
but
to make the change
I know
happen.
every day I talk and he goes so fast and we didn't Professor Charles, we will listen you one day, whole
Trust
day.
me, Nada. It's not
day.
about going fast and talking. Exactly the way he actually functions as well. I've witnessed it. So good. That is how we want people. Thank you.
Dr. Charles. Yes. Special day we'll give to Professor Charles.
Yes, we need to have, I think, one day just for him, so he can actually motivate all of us.
Of course, yes.
No, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. We love it. You see, we've made it a joint mission, isn't it? IIU.
Thank you.
IIU. When we call it, I used to actually laugh at Mr. Pandit and say, IIU means I, and you, like all of us, isn't it? Bringing everyone together, Now the objectives, the sustainable development goals we are working on, we're trying to unite the whole world on it. This is our mission, isn't it? To bring the awareness, to make this a household knowledge topic. We want people to understand, the common people sitting at home, how do they know what it means? How do they know when they're just trying to make their ends meet? So I think the objective that the Swarn Bharat Parivar is carrying on with, now putting forward IIU to take this such a huge initiative. So to not only educate people, but bringing about the changes that can be constructively applied everywhere in the world for the betterment of humanity, for the betterment of civilizations, for actually trying to consolidate everything, putting it together as one big family. So thank you everyone, whoever's coming out, giving us this strength, support, your time. We are so grateful. I think the only way things happen, things materialize is when you have a very strong will and when you have the right team to work with. So everyone who joins us here is a team, and everyone who comes in and gives us their incredible, precious time, we're always so grateful to you. We look forward to working with you all. We invite you all for the all 18 days, and thank you so much for your time today. Thank you, Nada. Thank you, our other judges, our speakers, our people who were there today, everyone behind the doors, everyone behind the scenes. There's so much going on, and all the people that are still working towards sustainable development goals obviously doesn't mean that they're only showcasing their talent on one platform. Anywhere in the world who is working towards it, our salute to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Satnam, for the vote of thanks. So we are coming to the end of today's session. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope soon the back for tomorrow and the inspiring and educating ideas of the conference. Till tomorrow, stay safe, stay healthy, and build sustainable future. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nada.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nada.
Kalyani. Thank you, Pratici. Pratipaji, thank you very much. If you're still there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you.
Very
Thank you all.
motivating.